If you wanna learn Chinese and you have, let's say, two options, you could go to China or you could go to Africa, let's say to any country in Africa. What would you choose? What would be your choice? And of course, your main goal is to learn Chinese. Of course, you would go to China because it's there where you can learn easier. I wanted to say easy, but easily, but easier a little bit Chinese because they speak Chinese there. That's clear, right? It's much easier to learn language in the country that they use this language. I mean, if I wanna learn English or improve my English, I'd rather not go to I don't know, to Russia, but I'd come here to the United States or to England, Ireland, Australia, because it's much easier. It's like with the smell. When you enter a room that is filled with a fragrance, with beautiful smell, and it's strong, then when you go out of this room, your hair, your skin, your clothes have on it this smell. So you take it with you somehow. It becomes like a part of you for some time at least. Same for the bad smell. Unfortunately, we carry it with us too. When we enter a room, then we go out, then it comes with us. I'm telling about those things because St. Paul in the second reading tells us a little bit about it. He says, I urge you, do not conform yourselves to this age. Do not take with you, don't let this age, these times, this world enter into your life too easily, because you may be transformed by the way of thinking of this world. You may be changed in a way that you will not even be aware of it. You will be changed and you still will be thinking, hey, it's me. And my reactions, the way I think, I say, it's still me. Nothing changed. You may not be aware of it. So the impact that the world may have on us, it's like the gas. What was the name? Carbon monoxide. I'm not sure if I pronounce it in the correct way, but anyway, it doesn't have smell, but it can kill you. So if you are not aware, the world may change in a way that it could kill you. I mean, there's nothing in this world that can lead you to God, if not God himself, of course. But we cannot follow this world, the teaching, the words, the way of life of this world, because it will not lead us to God. I remember recently I was talking to one person, and during our conversation, this person was far from the church, and during the conversation this person told me something that I believe every priest has heard in his life, and every religious, maybe even lay people, I mean believers who were talking to non-believers. So I've heard, Father, I know that you are telling those things because you have to, because you're a priest. It's like you've been taught to talk like this. So it's not you, it's not your free will, but you have to, being a priest. Sometimes people may think, okay, they get paid for it, so they're talking those things. Well, what can you say? I mean, what if the things that we are telling and I'm telling, what if I really believe those things? And I'm telling those things because I believe that it's true. Oh, that's serious. That's dangerous, because those things are not easy. They're really hard to accept. So if it's true, it's really dangerous. I remember quite stupid saying that if God doesn't exist, that thanks be to God. But if God does exist, God forbid, oh, God save us. And hey, isn't it what St. Peter said today in the Gospel? These are his words. God forbid, Lord, no such thing shall ever happen to you. So, you know, this person that told me that you have to be telling those things because you are a priest, because you've been taught to, what about if this person is saying this because this person had to say that, because was taught to? By whom? By this age, by this world, by the way of thinking of this world that is afraid of real freedom that comes from God, from His grace, from forgiveness, from being humble, from being really in the heart of God. And He's the Lord, not me. I'm not a God. So this is it. This is how it works. This world will tell you, you know, it's not true because you have to tell those things about God, love, forgiveness. Who cares? Well, you have to tell those things because it will be really hard to accept the words of the church, right? It would be really hard to follow those words. You know, forgiveness, it's not an easy thing. So, what Peter says today in the Gospel, when he heard about Jesus' passion, his reaction is a little bit different than what we saw last Sunday in the Gospel. Because last Sunday Jesus says, Peter, you are blessed because God has revealed those things to you. Which means you gave space in your heart for God, for His Word. You accepted the Word of God. You believed it. And this is why you said, you, Jesus, are the Christ. You are the Son of the living God. So, last Sunday, Peter believed God. Today, what does he do? Well, does he really do anything wrong? He just wants to show his care for Christ. When Jesus says that I have to go to Jerusalem, I have to suffer greatly, I will be killed. So Peter says, oh no, it will not come to you, it will not happen. Come on, you know, it cannot come to you. And the reaction of Jesus is really weird. It's very tough. I believe this is really the strongest reaction that Jesus showed, even stronger than those reactions that Jesus showed to Pharisees and scribes. Yeah, they called him stupid, but anyway, today Jesus says to Peter, get behind me, Satan, you're an obstacle. Well, being an obstacle for Jesus, like stopping Jesus from saving us. This is what Peter did today. It's really, you know, hard to understand, to accept. So what Peter did, so what was it? What's the problem in Peter's thinking, doing? The problem is that he followed the way of thinking of this world. It's much easier to kill those who wanted to kill Jesus than to love, than to forgive, than to understand. So Peter accepts this world. He follows this world. It's like to say, Jesus, I'm sorry, but this world, you know, it's better than what you say. Those words, this way of thinking, I like it more than what you say. And hey, this is us. Every time we do those things like Peter did, that's the problem. You know, we are like sometimes really absorb the way of thinking of this world without being aware of it. So really we should be aware, we should be vigilant and give more space, more time for Jesus in our hearts, in our life, to listen to Him more carefully and really keep His words in our hearts. Don't let it, you know, go away easily, quickly. And there's one more thing that is really interesting today, because, you know, when you look at what Peter said, it's not really that bad. It's not quite wrong, I'd say. He was just trying to save Jesus, to help Jesus, to show his love to Jesus. But the problem is, he did it in his own way, without listening to Jesus, without looking at what Jesus wanted to achieve. So he thrown away God's will, and he said, hey, now I will tell you what's good, what's wrong. It's like Adam and Eve. It's like, I'm not sure if you listened to Gospel yesterday, Saturday. It was about this third servant who received 1 talent, and he buried it into the ground. Then when the master returned, he gave him back this talent. He didn't do nothing wrong, like he didn't, lost the money, he didn't steal it, he gave it back. What's the problem? Because he decided what's wrong, what's right. He said, okay, the good thing is to hide the money. But the Lord, his master, said, not this, something different. He said, use this money and get something more, so that when I return, I take it from you with interest, with something more. So that's the problem, not listening to God, not being obedient, not following Him. So sometimes good things are not that good, because they do not come from God, from His will. And we should be really careful about what we call good things. Good things come from God, period. So, do we have to do something special right now? Like, running there or here to find God's will, to be obedient, to follow Jesus' words? Not necessarily. Let's just do what we have to do, our duties, everyday duties, but let us be really careful and aware of God's presence and His will, and let us do exactly what was Jesus' will. This is why Jesus says today in the Gospel that we should deny ourselves. He says, whoever wishes to come after me must deny himself, take up his cross and follow me. This is what we should be doing, denying ourselves, our way of thinking, our reactions, our certainties. I am certain that this should be like this. No, wait. If Jesus tells so, yeah, that's okay. If not, don't be so sure. Follow Jesus. That's what we should be doing. That's the way to go.